and welcome to the Positivity Show. Today's episode is an episode that I am so excited about. I literally couldn't sleep last night in anticipation of this conversation. This woman has had an incredible impact on me personally, and I know she has transformed the lives of millions of women around the world. This woman is a New York Times best-selling author. She has her own television programs. She has donned the covers of many, many magazines. She's an international speaker. She has inspired millions of people. She started a movement. She started the Eat Clean movement. I would love, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you and to my community the one and only Tosca Reno. Tosca, welcome to Positivity Show.
I'm so delighted. I can't tell you. You're getting me all choked up with that introduction, Tanya. Thank you. I feel like we have a connection already. It's beautiful. I know we're thousands of miles apart, but so close.
Yes, it is. And I started this discussion today and I showed you a copy of a book that I have, which probably is one of your earlier iterations. And I know that when I talk about you and I speak about your name to the women in my circles, they know you as, beginning the Eat Clean movement, and this is the book. This is the copy that I have. And you have how many books have you actually written, Tosca?
I've written 13 books, and I have six ebooks also. Wow. So if you add that all up, it's a few books.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I love how you communicate in your books. I love how you really connect with your audience, and this I think is where I feel connected to you as well. I feel that the mission in your work. I would love to jump in if I can and talk to you a little bit about the movement of Eat Clean, because there is confusion in the marketplace, yes. And I know for a fact that you're the pure Eat Clean person. So would you mind just sharing some of the clear up the confusion for us?
Okay, well, thank you for that. I've loved the opportunity because I know that everybody seems to be talking about clean eating clean eats. There's so many iterations and it's very confusing, I think. But in its purest form, the idea of eating clean really originally isn't even mine.
Okay.
It comes from hundreds of years ago when physique competitors prepared themselves for contest.
Okay.
But through Robert Kennedy, who taught me how to compete and how to prepare my body for contest, I learned about eating clean and then took those principles and applied them in such a way as to make it clear for the lay person to be able to incorporate them into their own life. Because I found that I needed to lose 85 pounds. I was obese. And so in eating clean, the weight came off effortlessly and I was never hungry. And I thought, wow, I need to share this with people. This is absolutely remarkable. So in the purest sense of the word, eating clean, as envisioned by myself in the very first book that was written in 2007, is a lifestyle way of eating to maintain and manage weight and wellness. And it involves eating clean, nutrient-dense, whole, properly prepared, well-sourced foods.
Okay, beautiful.
Simple.
Yeah, beautiful. I love the way you communicate, because exactly that, you jump in and you say it as it is, and it makes it accessible to people, and you remove all the jargon. And I love that about your style and your approach. So what would be your main message now going forward in the education of this for people? What's the main thing that you really want them to get about this, that it's a lifestyle?
Well, yes. And so I fought in the beginning when I wrote the first book. I didn't want the word diet on the cover, but then everyone was dieting.
Okay.
Now, the word diet has a negative feeling to it, a negative connotation. So I'm writing instead the new book, which is the Eat Clean Lifestyle.
And
that incorporates so many things that are above and beyond just the eating. It's how we nourish ourselves. It's what we're doing to move and facilitate movement in the body. And then it's also taking care of our mental, spiritual self.
Great.
And those are crucial pieces to being completely well, but
Absolutely.
living like a lifestyle, not like some sort of trendy fad diet.
Got it. And this is about the lifestyle piece. And I experience you, even though this is the very first time we've ever met, you radiate positivity. And this is a big part of why I wanted you on the program. And I know your life has had its ups and downs. So even before you were, known by millions of people, how would you say your mindset and your, psychology was? Or was it through the journey of transformation that you strengthened your positivity muscle? What would you say about that aspect of who you are?
I think from birth, I had a lot of optimism from my dad. He was a very optimistic person.
Okay.
But I did slide into negativity and depression in my first marriage when I had to face the fact that I was in an abusive relationship. And although that man had given me my daughters, he had taken my purpose. He'd taken my light, and I had allowed it. So I needed to work on that. And through meeting Robert, through changing the way I ate and the way I thought about myself, through finding my purpose, I was able to find new meaning for me. But that even wasn't enough. And so I have been on a very intense spiritual journey since Robert passed, actually, in 2012. And that was a very necessary step for me. Because although I had always been a positive person, I still, like many women, had the negative tapes in my head and blamed myself for so many things that went wrong. And I, having lost Robert, having lost a son, then having to bankrupt his business, the family publishing business, nearly losing the house, losing my business, losing basically everything, everything. It's not enough. I could eat well and I could exercise, but I needed to do the work on my head, heart space. And that is where I learned the most powerful lessons about being positive. Some of the toughest sets and reps I've done in my whole life.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting, right? They see you're gorgeous, you're a grandmother, you look amazing, you've had all this, external success. But what's most inspiring is actually the transformational stories and the real stuff that's really gone on for people. I can resonate with you. I mean, I'm with my second husband now, and my first husband at the time, great person, but was not supportive of my vision, and I had to make a tough decision, and I left because I knew that it would stunt who I was. And you have to make decisions based on what society thinks, what other people will think, and you come across as a strong person, but people don't necessarily know the demons that are going on for somebody. So
Exactly.
the inner world stuff is actually where it all begins. And what I love is your vulnerability, because that's your humanity. And really the being that's before me right now is not while it's gorgeous to see your presence, you radiate this love, and I call it connectology, Tosca, where you connect.
I love it.
You really are like a connectologist, like you are connection. And it just, so you can rebuild the physical stuff, but I can only imagine what you've been through, from a grief point of view. So would you say throwing yourself or applying yourself has been part of healing? Is been the healing journey? Is this where you're on now? Okay.
Yes, although I admit I went kicking and screaming.
Okay.
I experienced enormous amounts of anger. I wanted to isolate myself. I didn't know how to voice all the things that I was feeling. I didn't know how to get it out of myself. So I would say the first couple of years were pretty tough, but I have this beautiful circle of friends and strong women around me that I didn't have before. And these are the people that are giving me this beautiful hope and light that there's there's more, and that I can tap into something bigger than myself, and I can give even more. I mean, I was already a giver, and I want to help people, but yeah, I can give even more because I have so many experiences, so many life lessons that I can now connect with others on those levels. I think that's really powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And tell me about your connection with your global audience. And, I would love to see you down here in Australia at some point, and I'd love to talk to you about that offline and how I could support that, helping that happen, because exactly right. It is, yes, it's the physical transformation that people see. Maybe they're drawn to that, but there's all this other depth that's there, So
Yes.
what would you feel would be if someone came to you and said, take me through a program of for my inner world, looking back now on your journey, where would you have them start? If you were speaking to a group of people, like what would be the things that you would love them to, if you could just transfer them and say, right, here's what you make sure that you get done?
Well, my own practical journey started with journaling.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. That's so exactly what we speak about. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Journaling.
So, and I was not a journal person. I was a writer, but I was not someone who wanted to journal. So it took me some time to get going with that. But I make this part of all the coaching work I do with my clients. And when I host my retreats, everybody gets a journal and a pen, and they have homework every day that they need to spend 10 minutes a day writing. Great. Now, is that going to be easy in the beginning? No. I say it's called the weather report. They just say, well, I ate this, I did this, I wore that, I saw so-and-so, I exercised a bit, and then I went to bed. And in the beginning, that's what it's like. Yeah. But pretty soon, that time comes to be so valuable and treasured that people start putting more into it and tapping into their spiritual selves. The next piece is meditation. I am a huge fan of meditation. Okay. Now, did I meditate before? Absolutely not. Did I think that it was easy? No. Okay. But I don't start any day now without meditating. It's beautiful. And I will do that before an important event like speaking with you and your audience. I will do that before I go on stage, in Vancouver this week, wherever I go. It's the first thing I do because I need to connect with my soul self. Yes. And that's where I find the universe or my higher power and my subconscious self will deliver exactly what I need to know and do at that moment for that event. Yeah, beautiful. So, perfect. I love that experience. Yeah. It's another level of alignment, Tosca, another level of alignment. Because you already were aligned, as you say. You're so big-hearted and you're a giver. It's filling you up, right? It is. And what it's giving me too is that beautiful peace in my mind where I can honor my truth, which, in the physical world where I was born in the pages, my career was born in the pages of Oxygen magazine. It's very judgmental and it's very much about aesthetic, and it's, your six packs and your abs and your booty. And I wanted, I felt that was okay, but that there was something deeper and richer that I was just missing somehow. And that's what I wanted to tap into. Yeah. And so this is where the spiritual journey has come. That's wonderful. So. That's fantastic. Tell me about your retreats. So I think I knew something about this, but tell me about the retreats and how people who are they for, and how can people come along? And they're for anyone who's interested in taking some time to connect with me and themselves and be switched on as to their approach in wellness, eating clean, meditation, emotional self. We have fun. Yeah. We work hard. We do, in the beginning, the early days are really tough at the retreats because I do anywhere from 3 to 4 workouts. Wow. But, I have all levels of it doesn't matter because you can participate as much or as little as you like. Okay. And I have all levels of abilities. So I'm very conscientious of who I'm working with and how I'm working with them. So we have retreats in Costa Rica. There's one coming up in Mexico. I've done them in mainland United States.
Okay.
I'd love to come to Australia.
Popcorn.
Body is delicious and so loyal and loving. I do love them.
Wow. Okay, we'll park that thought, and we will. So this is really, really exciting. And you shared about your speaking and being, and I know people approach you to discuss their brands. I've seen you on Instagram talking about a couple of things, and you shared that you're going to Europe soon.
Yes, actually, this is very exciting. I'm working with a group of wellness experts. There's a team of, I think, 6 of us, and we are going to be doing a cruise on the Danube in 2019, late August, early September.
Okay.
And so it's all about wellness, but it's also about culture. And it's going to be a very intimate group of about 150 people. Okay. And we work directly with guests the whole time we're there. So it's going to be, I can't wait. It's going to be just incredible.
Wow. Yeah. So mind-blowing. Tosca, I want to stay on this call all day. I hope you've got nothing else planned because it's just wonderful. So when I reached out to you and you graciously said yes, which I'm so grateful for, I did a little bit of research, and your latest hashtag is about it is about the striking sugar, but also the eating clean. Yeah. So could I just ask you in layman's terms why removing sugar is so important? And I'm sorry if it's something that you talk about all the time, but I would love just in your, I know your topics aren't boring to you. It's just a basic thing that it's a big deal. And, I think what happens particularly with executives, it's like, wine at night, functions, luncheons, have to wake up early, push themselves, drag themselves out of bed, coffee, maybe hit the gym, then, have to eat sugar, and then this whole spiral, and then carry weight and not be able to shake it, and then all that stuff. So can you just give us a good old lecture on how come sugar's so bad for my audience, please?
Sugar is a thief.
Okay. Wow.
Sugar is a thief.
Okay.
It robs you of your light, of your vitality, of your radiance, of your health. It robs you of your ideal weight. It even puts a damper on your brain so that you can't even think or function correctly. So people think that it's a treat and it's a delight, but ultimately it is stealing your wellness from you, because sugar isn't a food. It comes from a plant, but the plant that it's taken from is vastly different than the crystals that you have in your cup, in your juice, in your water, in your cereal, in whatever it is you're eating. And so in my opinion, anybody who's wanting to make wellness changes in their lives can make no change at all if they don't address where the sugar is and get that out first. Okay. And so that's why I put them on a 4-week strike sugar program, so that you can, first of all, identify where, I don't even know where the sugar is, because people don't know what it is. Yeah. And then give the organs of blood sugar handling a good opportunity to clear out all that toxic sugar.
Got it.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really fascinating, and we're 2 weeks into the challenge I just started, and people are they're reminded of what wellness and energy and vitality feels like when they take this drug, this dangerous thing out of their food.
I heard that it's more addictive than some of the actual drugs.
It's often compared to heroin and cocaine. This light? This light is really bright.
Okay, so if you want to, move around, that's it. I've only got half of your beautiful face. That's a bit better. Okay. So, so it is like compared to cocaine.
Compared to heroin and cocaine. Okay. Because they're refined products, all three. They're white crystalline powders, and they all give you a rush, and then you want more. Yeah. But the problem with sugar is, of course, it's not labeled as a drug. At least you know that heroin and cocaine are drugs. Yeah, sugar is worse because you don't know, and it's insidious. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
think that should give everyone a nice little kick. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
A wake-up call.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is talk to you a little bit about, or get your insight as we wrap up. If you were going to sit with someone for the very first time and give them your 3 hottest tips, your 3 pieces of wisdom on, change. So if they're ready to transform and step into, a new time in their life, whether it's their health, their wellness, their mindset, their spirituality. Don't you love how I'm putting you on the spot like this? 3 things that you would, Tosca pearls,
Okay.
that you could
So
share from your wonderful life.
The first thing I would say is that no matter what aspect of your life you're trying to change, whether it's your career, your wellness, your weight, your physical fitness levels, your mental space, the first thing you need to do is find your why now. Why this time? Why different now? And your why has to be so powerful that it will be the thing that gets you out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym and do your workout. Or it has to be the thing that is so powerful that it will help you reset your direction from being unfulfilled in your work to achieving new levels of excitement. So the why. And the why can't be to fit into a dress size, or it can't be your why and it can't be my why. Everybody's why is specific to them.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is an acceptance of where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I got here. I got to weigh 85 kilos more than I should, or whatever the number is. And I got here. But the amazing thing is that I am now looking to make change, and I accept that this is where it begins. Mm-hmm. This is the last day that I'm going to be weighing this number, or eating all this sugar, or failing in my personal life. This is the last day, because tomorrow already I set my goals to be different. Mm-hmm. And so loving yourself enough to accept that you got here and there was a reason you got there. Thirdly, and a lot of this is just mindset, is to trust in the brilliance of the healing body. Hippocrates said in 400 BC that we have the entire pharmacy with which to heal ourselves within us if we would only switch it on and dig in and use it. Wow. So trust that the body can heal itself. All you need to do is give it the right ingredients to do that. That means you got to eat clean, leave off the things that are tearing your life apart, your health apart, your wellness apart. Diseases like diabetes and cancer, which are predicted to be now going to affect by 2020, 1 in 2 of us will have the experience of cancer or diabetes or similarly related diseases. That's too big a number. These are lifestyle diseases. These are lifestyle diseases. They're not genetic. We can change them. Wow. That's the power of the human body. That's amazing. The power we have. Each of us has it. You don't have to be an Olympian to have it. You don't have to be genetically blessed. We were all born with that. So to tap into that power is just such a powerful thing to appreciate, and then to go. Yeah. Just go.
Got it. Just go do it. May I give you something?
Yes.
You said 3 things: the why, the acceptance, and then you said the mindset and the medicine, which is wham. That was your Tosca wham. So, and that will be really easy to remember for people, because when they finish seeing this, that's amazing cut through. And I love how you're sharing. We know we have it within us. We have it within us. It's just, we're not educated until we meet people like you who find their purpose and who are prepared to push through their own stuff to get out of their own way so that they can actually share their gifts. And Tosca, I feel so blessed to meet you. I want to keep talking to you, but I'm going to complete the the interview now, if people want to track you down and they would like to find out what you're writing, what TV show you're on, what cover you're on, where they can go on a retreat or learn from you, where would the best place be for them to go just as we wrap up?
Just come and visit me at toscareno.com. And you know what? You can find all ways to get a hold of me there. And I answer my emails. And actually tomorrow night, I'm going to do a live stream event about the strike sugar and how this can have such a positive effect on your life. So you're welcome to join.
Okay, perfect. Tosca, thank you so much for joining me on Positivity Show. Let's leave it there. Would you be happy to jump on back with me at some point, perhaps talking about your next project in a few months' time? We can check in.
I'd be delighted. Yes,
great.
It's a date.
Yeah, okay.
It's a date.
Okay, great. Okay, so signing off from me. Bye, Tosca. Signing off from me. Thank you for watching Positivity Show.
Thank you.
Bye for now.